G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the east side of the map, playing in the colour orange as the French, it's M. That's right, that's all his name is. There's a little part of me that just thinks his name might be Michael or Marjorie or Merkel. Oh, Merkel. Anyway, how you guys doing? Welcome to the casted game. Over on the other side of the map though, on the west side, which you will know affectionately as the best side, in the color red, playing as the Mongols, we've got Crackety here. Take a look at that little nest of bees ornament. That's how you know he's an ex-Chinaman, just like myself. We got ourselves quite the matchup today. French versus the Mongols. Now, for anybody who's unfamiliar with the history of Crackety here, let me fill you in. Crackety here, world-class Age of Empires 4 player. Jumped into a ladder game and played an insane game. Arguably the best game of Age of Empires 4 you will ever see. We casted the game. An hour long. A slugfest. And after the game, he was so... how do I say this politely? Disappointed with the state of Age of Empires. He swore that he would never play the game again. He uninstalled Age of Empires 4, and he refused to ever play again. However, he sometimes casts... Same way I cast. He casts... over on EGC TV, and EGC TV set a goal. They said, Crackety, if we get to 400 gifted subs or subs this weekend, you're gonna start playing, but you're gonna start playing as the Mongols. You're gonna turn back time. You're gonna say, I forgive you, Age of Empires, but this time I am going to become what I swore to destroy. I'm gonna become a Mongol main. And so Crackety, well, the rest is really history. They did indeed hit that 400 sub goal, and Crackety has returned to the ladder, currently sitting at rank 38 and looking to continue climbing up the ladder. And today, going to be playing up against M, Conqueror 3, incredibly good. Word is on the street that M is a top tier Smurf, either Vortex, Lucifron, we don't really know who, but just from the general play style of this account, that is the suspicion. So an incredibly competent player, very good player, high win rate on this account as well. But, of course, it remains unknown. And look at that. Already we've got the first of the landmarks coming down. It's going to be a Chamber of Commerce. Very, very interesting. Chamber of Commerce. And not the best trade position that we've got here for Crackety's opponent, M. So, normally, you'd want a market or a trading post in the corner of the map. That way, you've got the furthest possible distance so that you can trade to it. And the fact that it's spawned very close to M's base, the same way it spawned close to Crackety's base on his side of the map, means it's a little bit harder. Now, there are ways that you can go about this to maximize this still. As an example, you can trade down to this corner. Then all of a sudden, you've got a bit of a weak point because it's much further from your enemy's base, or much further from your base than it is from your enemy's base. So that's always something to note. The Crackety, he has been climbing up the ladder. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch him over on Twitch. He streams all the time over there. So make sure you go check him out and watch some of his games that he plays live. But Crackety's been playing a bit of an interesting style. For anybody who missed the first game of Crackety since he returned on the Mongols, didn't go that well. He made 3 town centers and he put them all in like this little steaming pile of, well, shit is probably the best way to say it. It didn't go too well for him that game. Second game came along. Crackety somehow managed to eke out a win, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that it was more luck than it was skill. I'd be surprised if we could see him do it again, but word on the street is that Crackety has been, he's been doing this strategy quite successfully, so I think we might be in for it today, and we can see him already beginning to move into position with a lot of villagers now moving over onto the wood, so expect to see him picking up a second and even a third town center early on. And I think what's interesting about this is we're going to be seeing it going up against French trade. French trade, of course, for anybody who's unfamiliar with it, is... well, it started off as a strategy that I probably would have put in A tier in the at the very beginning of this season, but it seems to have fallen down the well, let's just say it's fallen down the ladder, the rungs of the ladder, very, very quickly. Now, some pro players would have you believe that the trade, including the French trade, is completely overpowered, needs to be nerfed. S+ tier, insane, pog. Why wasn't it used in the tournaments then? I love that. I love that response. That was such a funny response. There was a Reddit post. Someone posted on Reddit and he's like, so, I can't, was it like a SpongeBob meme? It was some sort of meme. But anyway, we got the villager moving up towards the north of the map, looking to drop that market down. So this is something that is very, very important to do whenever you're doing trade. I coach over on Patreon quite a lot of games where trade is used, and this is one of the big things I talk about, which, by the way, if you're interested in checking out the Patreon, if you want to improve, if you want to check out some replay reviews or get some private coaching for yourself, there's lots of exclusive content over on Patreon, so go and check it out. And in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about this market, about why it's so effective, because we can see from the market at the moment, this one's only picking up 3 gold. Now, how many times is this trader going to have to move back and forth between here to get the same amount of gold that it would need to do one trip out to here? And the answer is probably like 30 times. Actually, I'll take that back a little bit less than that. I'm going to go with like 23 times. Let's have a look. I'm guessing out here we've got, if it's 23 times, then you'd be talking about 69 gold. How much have we got, baby? 57. It's pretty close. So you would have to do 19 trips back and forward here, whereas in this case you're only going to have to do 1, so you can see the difference. And now all of a sudden M is going to start walling up like a madman. This is pretty stock standard whenever you're looking to start that trade. But over on the other side of the map, Crackety's still yet to place down that second town center. 1 minute behind where the standard town centers get placed down. In fact, a little bit more than that, closer to 90 seconds behind where those normal town centers get placed down. You know, the TCs I'm talking about are like the English town centers, the Rus town centers, Holy Roman Empire town centers. They all get put down pretty darn quickly. But interesting little opening here from him. Right on board with him. He's obviously picked up a lot of the eco upgrades. For anybody unfamiliar with how the Chamber of Commerce works, let me fill you in. Every eco upgrade you'll get a free trader. Now, that trader doesn't instantly spawn. You have to train it, but it trains for free. And it's just kind of like the Chamber of Commerce is in use while it's happening, so you can't make a free trader and make a paid trader at the same time. It's like they're in the same queue, basically. It's just you get one for free. So that's the difference. But already some big trade numbers, not really big trade numbers coming out today. This is a vastly inferior form of trade compared to where you could be at if this was all the way in the corner. And there's a part of me that would be tempted to say, I'd love to see him put the market down in this corner to switch it up. Knight is coming out. No indication at all that he's going to be bringing down a villager in this direction, but the Khan's going to be spotting out the trade. Now, I will just apologize in advance as well for the colors. I know this is something that comes up quite a lot, and unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. I will reach out to the devs and ask them, but I will promise you now that the timeline for this is probably going to be the next 36 months, somewhere around that. And I'll show you why it doesn't work. So I can press this button on my keyboard. It's going to turn everybody blue and red, and it looks great, right? Everybody's blue and red, and then we switch sides, and then all of a sudden, you've got M, who's blue, and Crackety, who's red. But look on your minimap. Now what do we do? You see the point, right? Oh my god, Crackety's rushing with a town center. I'm here talking about colors, and Crackety's like, actually, we're going to shut down this trade. Okay, well, you know, this is interesting, because we often talk about ways that you can shut down trade, and a keep is often one of the ways that gets cited. But this is interesting. There is a new way in town to shut down trade. And can I just remark on this Mongol town center and how nice it looks when it pops down and all these little stones form around it? Like, they really put in a lot of work, those little villagers, didn't they? Well, villager coming out. Not sure exactly what the plan is for these vills, but he is well and truly parked it nice and safely here. I would suspect he... See, this is the problem, right? You can't even look to trade to the other side of the map. Crackety's got a lockdown on that market, or on that trading post, and you can't come here. It's going to be an outpost that goes down. Okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody was wondering how do you counter trade as the Mongols, it looks like we found our answer, because this is completely shut down at this point. Emma's got no income whatsoever from these traders, and he's got quite a lot of traders. I mean, look at this. We're up to 6 traders up here. This is very quickly going to start going down, 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 like prices at Coles in Australia. That's a reference to Coles, our supermarkets, and their ads. Very annoying. Very annoying. Google it. Coles ads, prices down. It's just a dude carrying a big red thumb and just saying, down, down, prices are down. Just like these traders. And speaking of going down, we got knights that are looking to take down some villages. At the moment, hasn't managed to take out any just yet. We see 0 worker kills. But over on the other side of the map, once again, Crackety going to be picking up another kill. So Crackety just going a little bit ham today. Don't mind if I do, Crackety. Look at this. More workers going down. So a bit of an interesting opening. Crackety just going into Mongol double production. Huge amounts of town centers. And now we start to see more vills getting added in out over towards this east side. I love the fact he's not utilizing the town center as this defensive keep when he doesn't have to, right? Like a lot of people would just park 10 villagers in that bad boy and say, okay, that's me, I'm done. Crackety, he's out here. He's on the move. The new Khan rises. And just like a man who would have typed GG and given up, he rises from the dead. Like a vampire. Is it a vampire that rises from... No, it's a zombie. I always get that one mixed up. I don't know why. I keep thinking that vampires are the one that rise from the dead. Vampires are the one that never die. They never die, Drongo. Anyway, The villager lead starting to build for Crackety. He's up 3 villagers at this point. He's taken out 7 villagers so far. Now keep in mind, his enemy is only on a single town center. His villagers do train slightly faster than your average bear, but the trade obviously got shut down completely, and that really puts a bit of a problem, a spanner in the works for the strategy here by M, because the whole plan of this landmark was to trade, right? You get the free traders from this landmark. I was going to say you get the extra resources, but that was a couple of patches ago, so you're going to have to ignore me on that one. The Crackety just doing a wonderful job so far. A counterattack coming through. We're right on board with Crackety as he does get his first villager loss. Second one going to come through here as well. Might even lose a third one. Indeed he does. So very quickly, you can see why knights are just so powerful in the feudal age. They are very unforgiving. If you're not paying attention, you're going to lose them quickly. And look, oh, I tell you what, I hate that bug so much. Oh, don't I hate that bug so much. Battering rams coming out though. Crackety looking like he's had to call for evac. Where did that town center go? Oh, town center's escaping to the country. Look at this. Now, he can just chop through. But in the meantime, this town center is just going to be preventing any potential trade. Chasing away more villagers. And in fact, he's going to get picked up on the run back. So Crackety, with his 900 IQ strategy, loses a couple IQ points and falls back to room temperature IQ where he belongs. But the town center is still in play. Town center is still in play. What does M know? That is the question. What does he know? And how does he know it? When did he know it? That's probably also important. I'd love to see Crackety just move a villager up here to cut through, but I don't even think he's going to need to. I think he can probably just walk that TC out of there. So villager count still relatively even at this point, despite the worker kills that have just come through. Crackety 3 vills up. Keep in mind he's got 2 town centers down here in the base, which is going to be obviously producing double the vills that his enemy's got, but he's also got that TC at the top. Villager does go down. So not really paying attention there. Tries to get inside the town center. He's going to be able to secure it as well. And now we see another counterattack. Crackety all over the map right now. Crackety just looking to outplay the enemy in all corners. But M, of course, going to continue defending. We see that double barracks thrown down for now. Now the market is under attack. The town center well and truly spotted. Where are those battering rams and where have they gone? You know what? He's not even interested in that town center in the north. He says, you know what? You can have it, mate. I'm not interested in trading anymore. I'm interested in killing you. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. 3 battering rams up now. It's important to remember that the double town center down here also acts... He's got the ability to move this TC. So rams lose a lot of efficiency here. But at the same time, rams are a really good thing because they prevent the enemy from... So essentially, we've seen this matchup before. What Crackety wants to do is he wants to... Well, that's an option. That's definitely something that you can do. Needs to get textiles in, though. But what Crackety can do is he can just park all of his villagers inside these town centers and just fire at the enemy units. And that's what he's going to be looking to do here. He's picked up +1. And now Vill's going to look to focus down these battering rams. Going to do so successfully. And he's going to be able to trade out battering rams for villagers here. We can see those worker counts starting to climb on the amount of deaths that have happened. So the first battering ram is down. Keep in mind, he can always move these town centers as well, if it does get to the point. But you can just see there's nowhere near enough units here, and Crackety going to be having a field day with the battering rams as the second one goes down. Can always pull a couple of vills in to repair this TC up as well. Another option for him. And just doing a really good job making sure that he's got enough presence on the field. Still yet to get through that textiles upgrade, but town center's just dishing out plenty of damage. The great thing about having these Mongol TCs is you can just reposition them. So you don't like where they are, that's okay. Just move them on to greener pastures, quite literally, to greener pastures. Though these pastures, even though they're technically red, there's not many things to indicate. It's basically just these flagpoles. So the only real green pastures you're going to have are maybe over here. These are quite nice. I wouldn't call them pastures, though. I guess technically you could probably call them pastures. What's the definition of pastures, actually? It could just mean like a hill, right, with a fence. That's a pasture. That's a pasture. You're not the only pasture on the hill. I'll tell you that much now, John. That's his name, John. All right, well, textiles finally coming through here for Crackety. A little bit too late, but you know what? I don't hear any signs of 2006 single from JoJo coming out just yet. The new Khan has risen from the dead. And Crackety looking to hold on. He's up 16 villagers at this point. No second town center added in from M. We're right on board with him as he looks to really get quite angry with what Crackety's doing with his life, and he's trying his best to pull him down. A little bit of tall poppy syndrome coming through from M right now. And I don't support it, M. I reckon you go back to your own base, you start drawing your own conclusions, and maybe looking to add in a second town center. That could be an option for you. It's always going to be tough, though. He knows his enemy's on a third TC. We saw this one in the north side, cashing in up towards this market. but still holding on. There's nowhere near enough forces here. And this is the part where it gets scary, right? Like, Crackety has done a decent job in delaying M at this point in the game. And now M's going to be in a little bit of trouble as Crackety pushes out. Enough spears, or enough archers here to one-shot the spearmen. We've got the attack speed aura that gets thrown down. And you can see him just moving forward, looking to try and take out these spears before the horsemen come through. And he's going to actually manage to skewer one. A couple more horsemen moving around the edge. Khan still going strong. Knight just looking to try and tank up the majority of this damage. And he's going to have success. And M is doing well in his offense. But I'm fearful about the numbers, that's all. Because Crackety's up 23 villagers. I don't know where those 23 villagers have come from. Has M just stopped making vills at this point? No, he's still making vills, and he's got plenty queued up, so he's not the kind of guy to neglect his economy at this point. But Crackety's defense has been very solid. Let's just say that much. Nothing too awry just yet. Riding on board with them, though. Horsemen behind. A couple archers looping around as well. And once again, the battering rams lead the charge, and unfortunately cop a whole bunch of spears in the face. I think that's what the horsemen have got. No, they got sabers. Sabers. I never thought of this as a saber. This to me looks very much like a spear. But, you know, at the end of the day, Relic, you do you. Town center firing down. We enter into the cinematic mode as it is time to get it on, ladies and gentlemen. Archers moving in. Plenty of battering rams here this time. We had 3 last time, but the force is looking a little bit better. But Crackety's defense should be fine. I think he holds this without too much of a problem. And then the counteroffensive is going to occur. Vills get pulled in at the perfect time. Needs to also make sure that this does not go down. Needs to start repairing the town center, and that's exactly what we see. 3 Vills. Whether it's going to be enough or not is going to be a different matter. And TC just going to evacuate out of there. Mongols with the solution to any kind of attack. Oh, you killing my town center? Oh, that sucks. Sorry, we got the F1 on this season. Okay, that's a bit better. Apologies to anybody's ears I just broke. Hopefully you're not listening with headphones, because if you are, apologies. All right, well, Crackety zooms on out of there, leaves the rams in the dust. You know, I remember the patch notes where they said that they nerfed the speed of Mongol buildings, but there's something that tells me maybe that nerf got switched. Maybe that nerf never really happened. But look at this. We got a little villager moving towards this top side. Now, he could have chopped through at any time. I never even thought about that. You know, I was thinking about, you know, get a villager up here, chop through so the town center can get out. He can just unpack the TC, build a villager, chop himself through and just get on out. But look at this. Crackety might be in a little bit of trouble. Town center. It is going to be fully packed for the moment. Counterattack going on in on the other side. Look at this battering ram. This battering Chad right now. He's like a honey badger. He doesn't give a fuck. Look at this. Crackety just on the ball. Not losing an outpost. Not to you. Not today. No, sir. I got bigger fish to fry. Speaking of fish and speaking of frying, M is looking to get himself into the kitchen. Things are heating up, that is for sure. A little bit of a counterattack on that south side. We're right on board with Crackety as he looks to take out a couple more villagers, and we see those worker kills starting to rise. He's up to 19, the same as his enemy. He does have a 30 villager difference, though. That is the difference. When you're going for 3 TCs versus 1, you slowly start to build up quite an economic advantage. And speaking of which, there is a significant economic advantage that's going on here. Is Crackety going to be able to realize in time he needs to get the TC out? Vill's going to be looking to chop through. He does the right thing, and now he's on the move. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. He's on the move. Battering ram going to be looking to chase him down. Oh, this is it. This is it. Get the Benny Hill music out. The Vills have broken through. The Vills have broken through. He can look to trap it, and oh, he swings through the gap. Nobody saw him. He takes the left step when everybody thought he was going to go right, and the town center just zooms on out of there. Crackety here. He's Crackety there. He's Crackety everywhere. How does this guy do it? Just he finds gaps where there were never gaps before. He almost fooled me right there. I thought he was going for the door. He went for the window. It's the classic Crackety move. To be honest, though, this guy is starting to look a little bit impressive. I'm getting worried now. Is this Mongol TC strat actually legit? How is he doing this? And how do you beat this? I mean, maybe if you just make units, you beat it, but still, who wants to make units? It's 2023. I got villagers to make. I got traders to make. Haven't you heard about the meta? It's trade, baby. I'm going to be looking on the defensive here. No sign of an age up coming through just yet. Stacking up quite a bit of resources. Let's take a look at his production, how it's doing back here. Double racks, triple range, triple stable. So plenty of production. Villager count still down about 25 vills here. Obviously, Crackety lost plenty back in that little fight, but The town center has escaped to the country, and we see a separate out coming down right now. Crackety going to be putting himself in a wonderful position. If he gets veterancy and +2, it's pretty much game. He can move into... I suspect he just moves straight into Lancers as well. I want to see the Uvu. Oh, this is awkward timing. Town center is up, though. So he's just going to look to ignore the enemy knight. I think if you sack Vils here, it's fine. Just focus on getting the age up through. And you can see right now, M knows how important it is to get in there. Push the agenda. He's going to be up against 3 town centers, though. And keep in mind, he doesn't have any battering rams to hold the storm for him. Hold the storm? To hold the door for him? I guess we could say hold the door for him. To shield the storm? Is that how you say it? What do you say? To... You guys get the point, right? Weather the storm for him. He needs them to weather the storm. I mean, at this point, Crackety ages up. I'm sure he's going to click a whole bunch of stables into Lancers. Does he even have stables at this point? Yeah, he's got one. We know that much. He's moving into Horseman. Okay, this is not something I expected. Horseman, no upgrades. Crackety, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but after reaching the castle age, you get veterancy upgrades. There we go. Okay, veterancy archers now going to be coming in for Crackety. Just like a running back right now, Crackety. He's that agile. He's that mobile. He's got that YAM network helping out. Battering rams moving through. The first one's obviously been picked off. 2 more to go. And Crackety looks to hold on. If he holds this fight, he wins this game. It all comes down to this fight right now. The defense is pretty solid. Archer numbers on the back looking good. He's able to pick off a fair few of the spears here. Town centers get loaded up, and Crackety here, he is trying his best to defend this push. He's got to wait for veterancy, though. We're waiting for veteran archers to come through. I suspect it's on this archery range here, and no, it's not. That's an archer that pops out. It's got to be this one right here. It's a little bit slower, but he pushes in with the horseman at the front. Knights are doing a good job dishing out the damage, but the town center is going to be contributing plenty here. And oh, we've got someone's on the move. Crackety once again on the move. This guy, he's always making moves. You got to watch out for him. He's a bit of a mogul like that. Continues falling back towards the safety of the town center, and the archers all turned white. That's not Crackety. That's not Crackety giving up. That's Crackety getting his veterancy upgraded. Finally through. The Khan also going to be white as he pushes out of the pocket. Crackety here is looking to take his opponent to school, cleaning up all of that. I got really scared for a second, but I didn't hear the noise. And now Crackety going to be able to break through enemy armor without too much of an issue at all. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Crackety holds. He's up plenty of villagers. Let's check in with him. He's up 35 villagers, and good game gets called. Crackety victorious as, of course, his skins remain red. And his... that's not a reference to the football team, by the way. Anyway, fellas, I hope you guys have enjoyed the casted game. I thought I'd just clarify that. I hope you guys enjoyed the casted game. Make sure you check out Crackety. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.